It's your girl Dominica, back with another video. If you haven't done so already, take a second to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dominica J. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. I'm starting out with my materials already spray painted black. As always, everything that I use, including the spray paint, will be listed in the description box along with the link. Just a disclaimer, I am using this glue gun just for video purposes. After doing so, I would actually recommend that you guys not use the glue gun on this part, and I'll show you why here shortly. What I would recommend is just using the E6000 glue and taking some books or anything heavy and setting it on top of the burner cover and leaving it like that overnight to adhere to the mirror. That way you don't have any slants or bends in the burner cover and your cake stand at the end, because they are kind of flimsy before gluing the mirror on. And I did have that issue where one of mine turned out kind of slanted. So again, just use the E6000, not the glue gun, and put something heavy on it to let it sit overnight. And again, you guys can skip out using the glue gun, just use the E6000 glue unless you're in a rush for everything to adhere. Again, the glue gun is just being used so everything adheres so I can work with it during the video, because it does take 24 hours for the E6000 to set before you can actually work with the items. And you can be as precise as you'd like to be with this. If you want to get out a ruler and measure and make sure everything is perfectly centered, by all means do so. I just prefer to eyeball everything. Now I'm moving on to the second and smaller cake stand, and I'm basically repeating the same steps. However, instead of gluing the mirror on top of the burner cover, this time I'm going to glue it inside of it just for a different look. Now this part I do recommend using the glue gun for, but I advise that you guys be very careful when you're doing this. I did burn my finger once, so be really careful that glue gun is hot when gluing these stones on. I just want to take a minute to tell you guys about the t-shirt that I have on in this video. It came from DJ's Fashion. I'll link the website and a coupon code in the description box for you. And I just want to take a second to tell you about the young man that owns this clothing line. He's only 23 years old, and he started out with just his clothing store and decided, to create his own line of clothing. And he sells that in his store as well. It's called 96 Miles. And I'm asking that you guys show this young man some love. He just gives so much back to his community. Every year, he gives thousands of school supplies away to children in need. He's always trying to help other young, up and coming entrepreneurs succeed as well. He's actually even allowed me to sell my t-shirts and crafts in his store, and he's never asked for anything in return. So this video is not sponsored at all whatsoever. I just felt compelled to do this small gesture for him because he does so much for everyone else. And I'm just so proud of him, proud of the young man that he's become. And I'm just so happy that my boys have someone like him in their lives to look up to. I was going to leave the cake stand just like that, but I decided that it needed something else, so I'm just gluing a couple rows of bling wrap in the inside of this to finish it off. I had intended on finishing up all of these cake stands in that night, but I couldn't find my little metal hole puncher to punch holes in this one, and you'll see why here in a second. So as you can see, this is the following day, and of course I have on another 96 Miles t-shirt. You can see in this clip what I was referring to at the beginning about the cake stand being a little slanted. That's why I recommend just the E6000 glue. And again, putting something heavy on top of the burner cover so it adheres to the mirror straight. Because naturally these burner covers come and they're already a little slanted and bendy because they're a little flimsy. And as you can see here, I'm using the metal hole punch or jewelry puncher to adhere the gems. It was very easy to do, doesn't take much pressure at all to punch a hole through the burner cover. Now I'm just cleaning up the mirror with some rubbing alcohol. I decided to add one last cake stand, keeping the design on this pretty simple. I just glued the mirror like I did the others, and I'm just going to put some bling wrap on the sides to finish it off. Now here is an up close shot of the holes that I punched in and what the gems look like hanging from it. I was actually very pleased with how these turned out. They didn't look homemade at all to me. I did use these for an event and got quite a few compliments on them. So I was very happy with this project. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment on what video you'd like to see next. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time.